This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Processing videos today. I am behind, and I've spent most of the morning inside the RV working on getting videos uploaded and try to catch up, because it's something I really got to do, and hoping to be back to a normal schedule this week, which means some dedication indoors here on the computer. It is very, very windy today, and the stuff is flying all over the place today. It would be perfect for the wind turbines. I got to get them up, but that's going to have its own cost associated with it. Digging holes and digging foundations and footings for the towers, and getting the towers connected to each other. That's a job. The wind is pretty intense though, so I gotta get that done next. Now here's something I've been working on this morning. I don't know if you guys remember when I went and got that big Craigslist haul this summer, and I got a free log splitter. This is a hefty beast, and everything was well, it had been sitting out in the forest for probably 20-30 years or more. The tires are flat and blown out, literally. They're just blown out. And the engine was the Wisconsin engine that I do hope to sell on Craigslist one day. A heavy-duty 12 horsepower Wisconsin cast iron engine was on here. And I freed up all the linkages and controls, and believe it or not, everything works. I cannot believe it. And when I spin the pulley by hand, it builds up pressure. It doesn't move the plate because I don't have the strength and the speed to spin the pump by hand. This is a heavy duty machine. Now, I went to Harbor Freight yesterday and I got myself an engine. Now, let me explain how this happened. I pretty much got it. I got paid to take this engine. Back a while back, when I had taken a bunch of things back to Harbor Freight so I could go to Home Depot and get building materials, they said they would transfer the money over to my bank account. And so I went right over to Home Depot and spent that money. And that money did not go to my bank account, so I ended up overdrawing my account. And that was not good. So I went without money for a while. And I went in yesterday and told them about my situation, and they looked it up on a computer, and they gave me it was a 64 and some odd change card, gift certificate basically. And I was walking around trying to decide if I should get an engine for this with that money, and the decision was taken out of my hands when I saw this for $50. Only $50 because it didn't have a box. I grabbed that thing fast, used my gift certificate and a 20% discount they gave me for the trouble I went through, because that was weeks ago, and then I got paid to take this away. So I've got a little brand new gas engine. It is only about a 3 horse, so it's probably not going to run it very powerfully, but it will, I believe it will run it for now. If not, then I'll take the one off that go-kart that I was working on and put it on here and put this engine on the go-kart. So either way, it's a win-win situation having a brand new gas engine here. Problem is, the pulley doesn't fit without the exhaust rubbing on the wheel, or the belt. So I've got to go get a new belt, and for that I have to wait a few days for payday. But I figured I lubed it all up heavily and got things freed up, except for this plate. The pusher plate is still seized up, but I have a feeling once that piston starts moving, that's going to free itself up pretty easily. I believe it will. But I might try hitting it with a hammer a few times, break it loose. But I can't believe the linkages move. This was seized up. I cannot believe that had been sitting for years and all that stuff works. Look at that. Unbelievable. The gauge on top is shot, but I don't think that's important. I don't know if that really matters. I'm hoping that the pump is hopefully self-regulated and won't blow itself up. At least that's what I think. So anyway, I just set this on a piece of exterior grade plywood. I've got to cut off all the original bolts. The wood had rotted out and the bolts were still there. And I'm going to put some exterior grade plywood on there and drill new holes through for the bolts and mount my engine. And I've got myself a log splitter. Good evening. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Looking at a clear sky, a calm meadow. It was a brutally windy day today. I was really worried about things, but everything held themselves down. The canopy survived, although I was constantly adjusting it. At times the back legs were lifting into the air. I would put cement blocks on them, but it would be a problem for tripping over them all the time. Now I'd like to show you what I have done with my day. I mostly did videos inside the old RV, and I'm going to triple up videos right now. I know it's not so hot for maximum views, but I got to catch up. And I just was running the roads. Let me show you what I got. Here's a Craigslist haul. I happened to browse Craigslist, and I found a table and chair set for free. This is a vintage table and chair set, and they're pretty decent chairs and table. Well, the table isn't that. It's I don't like the type because it's the laminated and what do you call it, particle board table. But I thought this would be no problem. She said it's at least 40 years old, and I figured I could take the parts and make myself a very nice table using the materials. We've got some very good legs that need some hand sanding and refinishing, which are in perfect condition. Nothing wrong with them at all. We've got two leaves, which are a press board, which I would replace. But I've got all the materials and everything lined up, so I would put pegboard in there, or what do you call it? Dowels. And everything's there to make that table live again and refresh it with beautiful recycled pallet wood. So that was cool. And I got that in there, and then she had a bale of chicken wire, which obviously is perfect for the off-grid homestead, and this really nice vintage style rocking chair, which is going to sit next to my fireplace, or my wood stove I should say, in my tiny house on wheels. So you can look forward to one day when I'm sitting here on my gold trimmed rocking chair next to the cozy wood fire, probably in my underwear because it'll be too hot in my over-insulated tiny house on wheels. But that's cool. I've got myself a rocking chair for the living room. And if that wasn't enough for a Craigslist haul, I had this tiny little voice in my head saying, go into town. And I was only maybe a half mile outside town, if that. And I thought, now I want to get home and get this stuff out of the truck and put it away somewhere. And his voice was nagging me, go into town. And I thought, okay, I'll go into town and see what I might find there. So I had this in the truck, and I went into town thinking, well, maybe God's leading me to find something for free. Well, sure enough he did, but when I found it I was very surprised. And then I stood there looking at it like, what do I do now? But it all turns out positive and happy. I don't know if you can see this. Let me slide it out. This was a massive, heavy-duty, let me pause the camera. This is a massive, rugged, heavy-duty, thick, all real wood table. Look at the thickness of that leg. Real solid, real massive wood. And this was sitting out for free. This is pure wood. This is one piece of wood. Well, two pieces, but I mean, that's one thickness of wood. That's no lamination. That's no fake junk. This is real solid wood. And a guy happened to be outside when I was looking at it, and he said, yeah, I just put it out for free. And I told him my story. I said, it's funny because I was just looking for picking up that set, which was in my truck. And I said I was led to come around into town. I told him about the tiny voice in my head and came out. I said, I will be right back. Please hold that for me. And let me show you the chairs. So this is incredible. Come on, camera. Focus. This is awesome. It's got 2 fold downs, so when it's folded down, let me fold that back in. It's everything's solid wood. This is really heavy duty solid wood. When it's folded down, it's not that fat, it's not that wide. It's perfect for my tiny home. I can see this sitting up against the wall underneath the window in the living room when I don't have gas. It's perfect. Now let me show you. Walking through the construction zone. I turned on my lights. That's so beautiful. Warm glow. And there's the chairs. They're absolutely perfect. There's one has a cracked leg in the bottom, and one looks like a rabbit knot on the back bottom of it. But I didn't even notice it sitting outdoors in the sunlight. It was sunny earlier. So I immediately came home, dropped off the first load, went to town, grabbed these. Look at that. That's a perfect fit for my tiny house on wheels. It's perfect. And now I've got a place to sit while I'm resting and working. I can sit here and think about my tiny house on wheels. I often want to have a chair down here, and I keep thinking I'd like to have a place to sit while I look around and think about things. Because a lot of my ideas come from just sitting and thinking about my house, thinking about what's next, how to do this, how to do that. Because now that I'm on the inside, I'm making it up as I go along. And that requires a lot of thinking. But look at that. So that was my gift from God today. That voice in my head saying, go to town. And again, when I saw him, I had just picked up a table and chair set. So I'm like, well, at the moment, I'm like, well, why would I need a second? And then it hit me. My friend has been asking me to find him chairs for the longest time. So these are mine. The ones outside are his. And because these fit my house. They look like they were made for a cottage, a rustic cottage. I love it. I really love it. So yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can fit these into the car, hopefully, so I save gas. And I'm gonna run these chairs over to my friend who has been begging me for months to get him some chairs. These are solid, all wood, made in Japan, rugged chairs. And there's nothing wrong with these things, nothing at all. So we both scored tonight. How cool is that? So I'm gonna load these up. Hopefully, like I said, I can get them in the car, I hope, and drop them off, and put my rocking chair in front of the wood stove. That is cool. See, Craigslist or the internet or the classifieds can bring you a lot of nice stuff. Now, this table, I'm still probably going to use that somewhere because it is a really nice all wood vintage table. Well, the bottom part is perfect, and I can use the sliders and the clips and everything to make a better table, because it's like I said, I don't like that particle board stuff. I never liked the particle board, but it's a good basis for a nice table, maybe for upstairs in the study or in the bedroom or who knows what. But there it is. I'll figure something out with it and take the chairs to my friend tonight. So that's it from Troy, from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project and the Tiny House on Wheels. It's all coming together. Wow, an $800 table and chair set. Nice. I got a package in the mail. I think this is an eBay order that I placed. My lighting for my off-grid tiny house on wheels. Yes, it is. Alright. These are little LED light bulbs. They're tinier than I expected. These are going to go into a homemade chandelier. They're really nice looking Oh, it's like a gummy feel, the material on the outside. Oh, it is a rubbery silicone feel. Huh, it's silicone coated. So this is a very high output LED light bulb, which puts out light in all directions. And this is what I wanted. I'm going to make chandeliers myself. I will be showing this later. Right now I've got to go deliver the chairs to my friend. But these were $1 each on eBay. G4 LED lamps. Again, free shipping. And broad transformer compatibility. Oh, I don't care about that. Anyway, they're 12 volt LEDs, and these are, oh, they're not marked. They were something about around 27 to 3,000 something or other K warm white at 12 volts. And I don't remember if they were 2 watt or 3 watt LEDs. But there they are. I'll have to check back online again. By the time you order them and the time they come in, you forget about the details. But I'm going to make my own chandeliers for my tiny house on wheels. And everything's going to be 12 volt for the most part.